art and Britain. So already in the Middle Ages there were painters. Oftentimes they painted things inspired by religious paintings, Roman Catholic. And then there came the Protestant Reformation, and so many of the Catholic paintings got lost. But still wealthy families collected statues and paintings and continued to do that. And in 16th century and 17th century, which is between the Reformation and the Industrial Revolution, there were many people from abroad coming to Britain to work there as painters and artists. For example, Hans Holbein and Sir Anthony van Dyck. And after that, in the 18th century, when the Industrial Revolution began, there were then British painters becoming famous for landscape painting and for portrait painting, and we will have some examples of that in a moment. And there are also venues where there are, and galleries, where there are paintings and arts from international artists displayed. For example, the National Gallery in London, the National Museum in Cardiff, the Scottish National Gallery in Edinburgh in Scotland, and also Tate Modern and Tate Britain. And Tate Modern, for example, is in an old building that was at the Bankside in central London in an old power station. There's it located, and the Tate Britain, there is something happening. There is, for example, the Turner Prize. In 1984 was it for the first time given, and it is every year happens it. There are 4 paintings selected in a pre-selection, and then they are displayed in the Tate Britain. And the Turner Prize is named after after Joseph Turner, and he writes the profile of landscape painting, and the winner of this gets then the award, the Turner Award, and also the Turner Award is one of the most prestige visual arts awards that one can get. And now there are some notable British painters, for example, Thomas Gainsborough, and he painted people, portraits of people in landscapes like gardens. And then there is Joseph Turner, and Joseph Turner did the profile of landscape painting. He did landscape paintings in a modern way. And then there is David Allen. He also painted portraits. And he's very famous for the picture, The Origin of Painting. And then we have John Constable. He painted Dale Ham, which is on the border of Suffolk and Essex in East England. Then the pre-Raphaelites were in the second half of the 19th century, in 1850. About that time, they painted very colorful and bright colorful paintings inspired by religion and literary themes. It was a group including John Millais and Dante Gabriel Rossetti and Holman something. And then there is Sir John Lavery. And he was a Northern Irish painter and painted the royal family. Then we got also John Peets. He made stained glass and engravings and is famous for that. Then David Hockney did pop art movement in the 1960s and is still influential today. Before that they had Henry Moore, and he did large bronze statues in an abstract way. And they are famous for that. This is according to the Life in the UK Study Guide on the pages 82 and 83. The views and positions expressed are the ones of the source and don't necessarily align with my own or with the ones of the entities spoken of.